computer. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Thanks for showing up. We are in the middle of our season for this spring season. So we've got hopefully everybody's been out and busy. Today's topic is going to be running lines and how to move around the breakdown. I've got a ball. When we go outside, we'll go outside to run around. So hopefully everybody followed the rules in what I sent out to everybody in the email and brought running stuff. How many people brought running stuff today? Yeah, Joe, you're gonna run it. Okay. Yeah.
I'll retrieve ball.
Who needs some?
Fantastic. Okay. Glad that we're able to do this. Otherwise, first thing we'll go. Paul, do you have any updates, ops from the ops area?
Just two things. Be vigilant about confirmations because there's been a lot of scheduling mishaps and whatnot. I'm sure you guys have all seen games canceled, and Rugby Colorado put a lot of games in that maybe weren't necessary. So, you know, if you find yourself in a game that you're somewhat questioning, let me know. If you don't have a confirmation on that match by Thursday afternoon, let me know. Not Friday night, let me know Thursday afternoon. Because I might be doing something Friday night, and if I might not get around to your confirmation, and I'd really like for you guys to go get a game. So I'd rather send those nasty grams Friday morning or Thursday night than Friday night. So let me know as soon as you can.
Our stated policy, folks, is 72 hours prior to a match. Right. The thing that we have worked hard with Rugby Colorado has been getting matches not on Saturdays. So a lot of their games have started to show up on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So that will change your 72 hours in advance. So if Thursday morning comes around and you don't see anything in your inbox, hit Paul up and we can, or Thursday morning for a Saturday game, hit Paul up and we can get it done. If you go in, so this coming weekend is Easter. We don't have a lot of stuff on the schedule. But our next big weekend is the weekend of the 15th. Everybody and their brother should be able to get at least one game. We've got a big event down at the Air Force Academy. That's a national qualifier. And then we've got matches. It's for sevens. And then there's a lot of high school and college and club starting. So if you have any questions, please let us know.
One more thing of note, guys. Do not tolerate any abuse. Let us know as soon as possible afterwards. Okay, don't tolerate it. Let us know right away. We've had a couple instances and we need to communicate it. They will do what they need to on their end, but the more we can communicate what's going on, the better. That's the only way to stamp it out at this point.
Yep, that was a major point of emphasis during the December meeting was referee abuse. We're holding ourselves to a higher standard, so we are expecting a higher standard coming from the teams. That includes fan bases, coaches, parents, significant others, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, just to clarify, they should contact us 72 hours because
yes,
okay,
yeah,
because they have not been. And to your point, I typically out of courtesy send that
Don't.
letter. Still
stop doing it.
Okay.
That's on the website that they are supposed to contact you. And then if that doesn't happen, then Paul sends a nastygram, usually about 48 hours in advance. That's usually about the strike time. Right. And we will reschedule you now that we're in the bulk of our season, right? It's about a month and a half where we're in crazy times where we might actually for groups that are that are attending that are not necessarily referees. Just to let you know, you might not get a referee assigned. So if you don't reach out to your referee ahead of time, we're gonna pull them and put them on somebody else that is.
Especially repeat offenders like Valor. Every time.
Okay,
So
so
the sooner you let
and the
me
reason
know-
we're doing that is to encourage better behavior.
Yes, and I put that in my nasty ground saying,
Sure.
that this is a requirement, we need to do it, we have a shortage of referees. We can reallocate these guys somewhere else, if you guys can't abide by your part of those policies. So, repeat offenders like that or whatever, we might have to resort to that to teach them a lesson, I don't know.
And then one more clarification on what you said about abuse coming out of that technical zone to chat you up, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, how strict?
It-
It was, he was going out.
We've talked about your instance.
No, this is a
Alright.
different instance. It's with it.
Okay, we can talk about
I
that
want to say this
specifically.
particularly, we want him in
Yeah.
the zone.
We want, so you're supposed to have a technical zone. What is the technical zone? It is typically marked, but at a minimum, it is from the 10 to the 22 on the same side. This is not American football where the teams are facing each other and and you have to look one way and you have to look the next. They're all right here. It's from the 10 to the 22 and then 2 meters back,
2 meters. Thank you.
because that allows for your assistant referee or touch judge to run their line.
Thank you.
The other
Teams
thing
are
about
not
that,
supposed to
though, is,
leave.
No matter how much leather skin you've built up over the years of refereeing, we need to nip this in the butt before we start losing referees. And
Yeah,
so-
think about it doing it for the next guy, the next ref, not necessarily you. You might have, you've been doing this for a while, Chris. I've been doing this for a while, but think about the next person that's coming off the L1. That's like, I don't know if I really want a referee anymore. I don't know if I really want a referee in the first place. And then they go ahead and get yelled at and they don't show up again. So think about it like that.
On the issue of not notification, are there financial consequences if they don't do it on time?
They just don't get a referee. So they can save themselves $200 by not getting a referee. But then they don't have a referee. And then for league matches, they don't count. And then it's a forfeit.
I guess the question is, why don't we go ahead and assess them something anyway?
We don't necessarily have that implemented in the
It goes to
background.
Rugby Colorado, it depends on who the,
Rugby Colorado or the others.
yeah,
Like where your head's at though.
yeah.
Thank you.
We've been fortunate enough that my nasty gram usually does the trick. But there are some repeat offenders all right now, like Valor. Almost tired of telling them, so. Yeah, charge.
Oh, really?
Jim Boyle.
Hey, can everybody who's not Joe please speak up more?
Speak up. All right. Larry, I'll just continue to speak really loudly. How about that? All right,
You're
so
fine, you're projecting.
yeah, thanks. Command voice. All right, so the other point that we had was so like I said, we've got a bunch of games coming up. The weekend of the 15th, the weekend of the 22nd, big times. The next thing that we want to talk about is we did have an exchange. Mr. Charlie Jones of Wyoming fame, locking it down, King of the North up there, was able to be on exchange with Mid-South for Nash Bash. So let me share my screen. Maybe. I'm going to share my screen. I just continue to repeat it. All right. Charlie,
Can you hear me okay, Joe?
I can hear you all right.
All right, so I'll just go through this real quick, but I was fortunate enough to do the exchange with Mid-South Rugby Referee Society and do the Nash Bash for 2023, which was a well-organized tournament. They also have a Baby Bash, which is here in about a month or so, and it's a high school oriented tournament, just a mirror of the Nash Bash. They had, I think I put on one of the slides 40 teams approximately. They actually had 96 registered teams, of which like 85 or so showed up for the tournament. Arrived on Friday. I don't know what's going on with your screen there.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Arrived on Friday, and Mid-South arranged for rides from airports as needed for the exchange refs, had rooms ready, roommates, and all that kind of arranged. So they did a really good job of just making sure they took care of the referees that came in. My roommate happened to be out of Kansas City and at one point was a Mid-South referee. So that kind of helped. He understood what was going on there. If we go to the next slide, Joe. This is just a field map just to give everybody an idea. There were 10 fields. I would say it was about 100 acres that this was laid out on. Again, they had it arranged real nice. I circled there the ref area. What I liked about that is it was centrally located and away from all the teams and also away from the official brackets. So anytime somebody came, like they do at these tournaments, oh, what's the score? What position am I in? We just told them to go away, go talk to the official bracket. So that actually helped quite a bit. And then another thing that they did, I want to share, they would issue cards to each ref for their games for that day. So once your match was complete, you filled out the card of the score and you just found the official, the referee that was running the thing, give them their card, and they could just update the scores on both tables. So that was kind of nice. Let's see, and then that's just an example of kind of the referee scheduling they did. They'd put this out each day. Hey, here's your matches, be on this field at this time, and teams would show up. If you go to the next slide, try to run through this quick. This was just my matches on day one, mostly women's college is what I was doing. And then just a couple of pictures of just, general area of trying to take pictures of the pitches and show how that kind of laid out. Let's
Charlie,
see.
Charlie,
Yeah.
was that score line for match day 2? Is that listed horizontally, vertically?
That's the score line. No, it's
Cincinnati versus it's
Marquette.
Cincinnati versus Marquette, right?
Yeah, and then
Okay,
Cincinnati versus.
you had a 0-0 tie. In that case, then you're going to be allowed to leave Wyoming again.
Yes, and Cincinnati beat Cincinnati by 4.
Hey.
So yeah, and that kind of messed up. I don't know what happened there, and I have this on the next slide too. I meant to put day 2 on a separate slide. But one thing for sure, coming from, we all train, at least up here in Wyoming, at about 6,200 feet. You guys are what, 5,200? You can run all day when you get down to Nashville. So I was helping AR some other matches and stuff in the meantime, but it was good to knock these. These were all center matches. There were 94 total matches played on day 1. And if you go to day 2, I think it was 50 or 63 total matches played on day 2. And then again, that University of Cincinnati Purdue was one of the brackets, the Loretta Lynn bracket. So they had 2 total brackets of women's college. They had Loretta Lynn and Dolly Parton, but University of Cincinnati beat Purdue in the championship game of that match, which I was able to center. And then Notre Dame College, not Notre Dame University, won the college men championship, and I was able to AR that one. Let's see, and then go to the next slide. I think I got a couple more pictures and we'll, again, there's just your scheduling of matches for Saturday. Of course, they stayed up all night working out the matches. One thing, it was very organized and I was impressed that they kept a schedule, because you know how these tournaments go and we always run late, but they did 25-minute running halves, and that meant even injuries. I mean, there's a little bit of slot play there, a few minutes, but they kept the halves going with 2-minute half times, and the whole thing stayed on schedule. Multiple divisions with competitive. There were some social sides, but it didn't get too wild and crazy. Of course, the college sides, and then one old boys bracket. Like I said, Mid-South provided rides, lodging, they provided food throughout the tournament, and then they would do meals in the evening for all the refs. Very welcoming, had lots of questions, and we were able to just exchange tons of information about how we run things out here versus out there and everything else. They also had a real nice dinner at the Lost Patty on Saturday night and held a short AGM where they did some promotions and just kind of similar to ours, but maybe even shorter. Just discuss some of the new laws and lessons learned from their matches. As far as lessons learned for me, communication can always be better, even though they were super organized. Sometimes you get an email, sometimes you get a text. So it was a little bit lost there. New to me, they would bring jerseys for all the new refs. So just spare old jerseys. And luckily I had a couple of RMRR ones from back in the day. They're green and yellow. If you guys remember the green and yellow ones that I never wear. And I exchanged those, gave it to a couple of the new refs. And then I talked about where the location of the ref tent was, the timeliness was outstanding, and they would meet. So most days the matches, whatever time the match was, they'd meet an hour before and discuss any new laws, any concerns, questions, or anything that occurred the day before. So I thought that was a really good idea. Just get there early, stretch out, and discuss things, just refs only type meetings. And then last slide, Joe, I think is, or do I have one? Yeah. In conclusion, we're better than them. They were really good society. We have a better kit. We have cool uniforms. I mean, everything is better. I think that we have a really good society here, and they actually, I thought they had a pretty good society there. A lot of good people over there. They knew a lot of you folks. And I really just appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for RMRR for giving me that chance. And that's really all I have, Joe, unless you have any questions.
Any questions?
Did you get any feedback, coaching, evaluation type stuff?
Yeah, did you get any feedback? Yeah,
I didn't. They did have coaching available, but as you can imagine, they focused on their people. And most of those coaches were doing people from Mid-South were evaluating them. So they did do that, and they would provide it to your union if you did. It was kind of scheduled by match, and none of my matches had any coaching.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, any questions, Brighton?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for the opportunity, guys.
All right. Thanks, Charlie.
Well done, Charlie, well done.
All right. That actually brings up a point for tournament play. So through Ref Up, we do have the opportunity to add referee managers. For the most part, we are going to be doing, we just kind of indicate a head referee. So anybody that ends up going to a tournament that has more than 3 referees assigned, there will be a head referee that will allow you to do the scheduling for that. If there are any issues, please bring it up with the head referee. And that will allow you to do that kind of stuff. Are there any questions at this point? Okay, so we're going to stop the recording for the Zoom now. And we're going to talk about running lines. That will be in part 2. And then when we come back inside, we'll do part 3. And we can go from there. All right. Thanks everybody for showing up. 20 minutes. Away we go.